Okay. Well.
Whoa! Oh, man. Yeah! Nailed it! I'm pumped, man. That's the best hit we've had. Hey, welcome back to possibly the most passionate basketball card content for collectors on YouTube and possibly on the internet. This is Jake Roy here, your host, 90 Bball Cards. Thanks for joining me. So we have a fun pack opening with some crazy potential of getting some very valuable cards, very valuable parallels. There's a ton of inserts to go through and some numbered stuff. You know, this is the 90s that doesn't have Jordan, so numbered stuff was really where all of the meat and potatoes of these products were. So we're going to get into some of the fire that we could pull and some of the fun stories that we have that go along with this product. Let's get right into it. All right, today we have 1999 2000 Skybox Premium. We have hobby and retail packs. So we'll get into the quantities, but no difference in the odds stated on these, which is interesting because a lot of times the only reason for designated hobby and retail packs is either you had exclusive parallels in one or the other, or you had different odds. So kind of interesting there. Skybox Premium was really the flagship of the Skybox brand. So, you know, the premium moniker, meaning that they kind of had higher end finishing on the cards, but really the biggest piece to these were the Autographics. That was really their calling card in the 90s, is their Autographics insert set. So those on-card autos that had a long checklist, a lot of times, or almost every single year that they offered them, you had certain inserted players in certain products. So you couldn't get every single player on the checklist in any of the Skybox products. But a lot of times you would see some of those top tier players selected to be in the Skybox Premium packs. So I don't have a checklist of this Skybox. We might pull a checklist that has the Autographics listed on there that you can get specifically in this product. But the highlights in the Skybox Autographics set for this year, we've got Shaq. That was a huge card when I was growing up, and it still is today. Another one that might not be a name that makes as much sense as Shaq is Charles Barkley. And that's purely because Charles Barkley did not sign a lot of cards when he played. He has now since signed a deal with Panini, so some of his autographs are going to probably start rolling out, we theorize. And, you know, we don't know what that might do to the market for his inserts that are autographed like these. Scottie Pippen also has one in here. There's also short printed or serial numbered versions of the Autographics, you know, so lots of stuff. But the other big thing that you might know in Skybox Premium now that is the big draw is the rubies. So 99 2000, just like all the way back in 97 98, you had the star rubies. And this honestly is one of the patterns that I think is the best looking. It's actually, you know, they call it star rubies and all of them, but this actually looks like it has star bursts on it. Sometimes in pictures you can't really pick it up because there are some dark colors on the backgrounds. But, you know, not only are they low serial numbered, but I think that the pattern looks great. You know, you get the 97 98, which is really the first one that had the boom. You get 98 99, which Series 1 and Series 2 had two different patterns on there. You got the Jordan that has kind of that pattern that we know from Z4 Super Raves, and then you've got the Series 2, which had a lot of the rookies, which we know for the hyper, what Panini calls the hyper parallel now. So those are the ones that kind of led up to this one, and this is one that I personally like a lot. So without further ado, let's get into the PC items and some of the fire we could see in these packs. All right, so here we've got some items from my collection that we could get in here. So starting out with something that doesn't have any odds, but I thought was neat to talk about, the rookies. So there's no stated odds on how frequently you'll find the rookies, but the interesting thing here, so we've got the Baron Davis, but there are also SPs or short printed versions. So what you'll see with those, that you can't miss them. So like this Lamar Odom here, those will have an action shot of the player. Those are the SP versions of the rookies. So each rookie has a base version like the Baron Davis, and then they have an SP as well, like this action shot of Lamar Odom. And then there's also rubies of both. The rubies, typical rubies, whether it's a star or a rookie like this Baron Davis, would be numbered to 45, but the SP rookies would be numbered to 25. So, you know, the rookie class in this year wasn't the biggest, blockbuster rookie class. Baron Davis and Lamar Odom are two of the top guys for value now, and they're not like some of the other greats that we saw in the 90s, like Kobe and whatnot. So not as valuable, but still getting the SP, even if it's a common player, we could get, Vonteego Cummings or Tim James for all I care. It's numbered to 25. Those are ridiculously rare to find and, relatively valuable considering just that they're so rare. So that's what we're hoping, to see for sure is some of those rubies. And at the end, we'll talk more about some of the stars and some of the values on those, but, just wanted to highlight those with the rookies and the SPs to start. Next up is one of the more common inserts is Back for More. So these were 1 in 6 packs. Here we've got a Ricky Davis, and this one really highlighted a lot of the rookie class from 98, 99. So, it doesn't have some of the top flight stars actually, unfortunately, like Vince Carter and whatnot. You've got some of those like lower tier or the, lesser stars of the class. So this set doesn't hold a ton of value. Some of the bigger names, Peja Stojakovic and Anton Jameson are two of the bigger names that are in this set. So that tells you a little bit about the firepower. These cards are pretty easy to come by at 1 in 6 packs. They come out of packs pretty frequently. And without having a lot of big names, you're probably looking at $1 or so for most of these. Not a ton of, interesting design work on these either. These are pretty plain, pretty basic, fun to pull to get something different, but nothing too exciting to start out with those inserts. The next step up is the Majestic. So here we've got a Penny Hardaway, my PC guy. These are 1 in 12 packs, and these definitely have a lot more to the design. So you've got a cool kind of metallic background in the gray. You've got the silver foil. These with not only the high metallic foil on there, but the dark colors as well. You can definitely pick up imperfections, chipping on the edges and corners on these a lot more prevalent. So, those are definitely things to look out for if you're looking to get a good copy. These should be very easy to see what, if any, imperfections there are before you buy it, if it's raw. So it's really kind of a nice looking set. It's majestic. It's it is what it says it is. It's kind of a classy looking set. But not 1 in 12 packs. Again, not a ton of value in these, but you do have some of the bigger stars. Penny Hardaway was a huge star at that point in time, so you get a little bit more firepower in that regard in these. Next up for inserts, we've got good stuff. So here we've got an Iverson, and we've also got a Vince Carter. These are 1 in 36 packs, so pretty hard to pull, and pretty easy to come by actually in the secondary market. These are not hard to find and not the most valuable cards in the world, but they still are pretty cool. You've got that big lettering across there saying what the name of the insert set is. You get some pretty nice action shots of most of the players, and you've got kind of some photo effects on these as well. But the really interesting thing that you can find with these as well is they have parallels. So the parallels are called More Good Stuff, and they have another finish kind of on top. It's a more reflective finish. Those are numbered to 99, so that's really where the firepower comes in, getting any player in the set. But again, these are the top all-stars at the point in time. Iverson, you've got Vince Carter, obviously, but you've also got other guys like Kobe, you've got Tim Duncan, you've got Kevin Garnett. So, you name it, if they were an MVP candidate, they were probably in this set at that point in time. So getting a More Good Stuff of any of those guys, number 299, would be phenomenal. We'd love to see one of those. Next step up, we've got Prime Time Rookies. So here we've got a Jason Terry. These were 1 in 96 packs. Very hard to pull. Not the easiest cards to come by. They really do have a really cool reflective finish in the background, which is similar to kind of a Prism Pulsar now, even though these are going vertical and those Pulsars typically go horizontally. That's kind of the pattern that you're picking up. Similar to Power Boosters as well, just like one of those very eye-catching reflective patterns. These all had rookies from the class. Again, we talked about how this rookie class wasn't necessarily the greatest. Jason Terry definitely did have a good career, but he was not a huge star by any means. So, these are typically pretty affordable if you're looking to get a guy that is in this set from this rookie year. But the next step up on these, and I did want to mention, these are also, with the reflective finish, they're also acetate. You can definitely pick it up on the back where you can kind of see the whited out outline of the picture on the front and the obviously the mirror image of the words there. So I do love a good acetate, and getting a reflective finish on an acetate is always a very nice looking thing from the 90s. So the next step up from these are the autograph versions. The autograph versions do look the exact same. They just have the player's autograph over the front of it. And those are numbered to 25. So, you know, you can imagine those are just like those SP rookie rubies. Very hard to come by, very valuable when you do find them, you know, regardless of who the player is. So those are some of the regular inserts that have pack odds. Then we've got a number of inserts that have no pack odds, but they are serial numbered. But before we get to those, the Autographics, like we talked about at the beginning, those are 1 in 68 packs. So again, pretty hard to pull, but not as hard as some of these other inserts that we talked about. But then Club Vertical is a huge fan favorite in this set. Those are all numbered to 100. You've got a lot of great players like Kobe, Iverson, you know, and then you've got some other guys who don't seem like stars now, but they were at the time, like Keith Van Horn. So a lot of great players, and then you've got some other commons, but even those are extremely, extremely collectible and highly sought after. So would love to see us get any one of those. Obviously, Iverson being one of my side PCs, would really be excited about getting the Iverson. And then we also talked about the rubies, so just to highlight that those are, you know, really one of the prime things at this point in time. And then there's also some memorabilia cards, the genuine coverage. I've got a few in my collection. Those are typically numbered to either somewhere between 250 and 450. So it just depends on, you know, really who the player is and what they could get for the materials. But those are pretty simple jersey cards. You know, nothing too outrageous that we haven't seen before. So that's what we could get, you know, really hoping for some of those low numbered stuff when we open these packs. So let's get right into the packs. All right, so we have got 10 retail packs with 3 hobby packs. The retail have 6 cards per pack. The hobby have 8 cards per pack, so that's basically the big difference. We will save the typically best for last, the hobby, and start with retail. So pack number 1. All right, so there's the base set. Really like that with the kind of tracing or tracking on the motion. But we've got a Vin Baker to start. A little bit of sticking here with the gloss finish.
A little bit?
No, it was more me than the gloss. Tim Hardaway. There's a rookie with Trajan Langdon. Another rookie, Scott Padgett. Okay, gotta be careful on that one. Vince Carter base, but we do have some paper loss because of the sticking. Bummer. Big Vince Carter fan. And another one on the back. Another one with a little bit of paper loss because of the sticking. We got Nick Van Exel. And then here we've got a checklist that's just the base checklist.
All right. Now I can't wait to get paper loss on an insert.
Some of those inserts shouldn't. The foil typically does better with sticking. You know, it's the gloss finish. So anything that's got foil on it's typically not as sticky.
All right. So this feels like one big brick.
Great.
We got my dice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jeez.
Oh yeah. Jonathan Bender that basically doesn't even have a face anymore. Charisse that basically also literally doesn't have a face. Hershey Hawkins. Shaquille that had part of his face ripped off.
Oof.
And Stackhouse that had part of his arm ripped off. So that's literally a worthless pack because every card was so stuck to themselves that they all ripped.
I'm hoping that the hobby's better, but we'll see if all the retail's like this. All right, Rod Strickland, Charles Oakley, James Posey, rookie.
Dude, every one of these is just rough.
Cedric Sabalas, Antoine Walker, Jason Kidd, and that's the last one. And then we've got a checklist here. I'm just wondering, I want to see if there's Autographics. No, there's not.
When Antoine Walker was a superstar.
He was an all-star, yeah.
Nice. Just want to point out how
beautiful these cards are.
Yeah. All right.
My man.
Corey Magott.
My man. Corey Maggette.
Corey Magott.
Love to get a ruby of him.
How mad are you going to be when we get a ruby and it's just ripped off?
Again, the foil should be...
I mean, there's KG goods. No, what are you talking about? It's literally...
A little bit, but that's not as bad as the
little
other
bit.
ones.
What are you talking about? That's a huge ding.
It's not as much as Tim James. It's a good hit with the good stuff, though.
Reggie Miller. Eldon Campbell.
All right, Tom Gugliotta. Got Eddie Jones. This one wasn't as bad.
Down a little bit.
William Avery is not good. Anthony Mason. We have Avery Johnson, Glenn Rice, and here's the Autographics checklist. Cool.
I've gotten 0 checklists. You've gotten a checklist in every pack. Oh, look who's on the back. Hopefully that's the Ruby version, right?
I would hope.
Oh, wait, no serial number. Sorry to crush your dreams already. Not sorry. Isaiah Ryder.
Star pile for JR, huh?
Yep, big stars. Real collectible stars. Every single one of these cards just completely ruined with paper loss. Definitely collectible.
They are. It's the spackle version.
Oh, yeah, okay. Baron Davis, Karl Malone spackled, Jeff Foster, Jamal Mashburn, and then spackled a Penny.
John Stockton. Oh, boy.
Bring him down a bit.
Oh, boy. This is going to be bad. Well, not as bad as I thought it would be. Rajanovich, Detlef Shrimp. That's the one that was bad. Dead leg shrimp. Oh, boy. Here we go.
That sounds yummy.
And it's a Kobe. A little bit of paper loss. Mike Bibby. And who is our last guy? Michael Finley.
Yes, Michael Finley's a star.
He's my side PC. That's why he goes.
He's your side piece? I'm telling your wife.
He's my 5th side PC.
I'm telling your wife. Wally Zerbiak, rookie.
Let's grade one of these.
All right, let's have it be the Cal Boulder rookie.
No, I think that Tim James is a grading candidate.
Nope. Mr. Free Throw himself. Look at this. Look at that one.
That's good. It's one of the best.
All right, Robert Tractor Trailer. Your boy, Keith Van
KVH.
Horn. Mitch Richmond.
Hall of Famer. All right, we have Lindsey Hunter. I was almost going to say no sticking. I do have an insert. And there's no sticking on the insert, Josh. So that's a good sign. Daryl Armstrong, let's see what we got here. Majestic Scottie Pippen.
These are how good uniform. It makes me want to vomit.
I know. Jason Williams, Grant Hill, and Brent Berry. Well, at least it came out in good shape. Well, there's some paper loss on the back, but...
Christian Laettner. Montego Cummings. Big Z. Derek Anderson. Ray. Gary Goodles.
All right, here's the hobby. We got 3 packs. Hopefully, less sticking in these and more inserts. All right, let's see which side. We'll start from this side with a checklist. Autographics checklist. Not bad. Brian Russell.
Oh yeah, a lot less sticking in those.
Nice photo on the Jason Williams. Tim Hardaway. It's like every other, maybe. It's going to stick. Another Jeff Foster. Another Vontigo Cummings. Come on. Oh, boy. J.R. Ryder. Stephon Marbury. And... All right, we were able to somewhat salvage the Vince Carter.
No, you didn't salvage anything in that.
Oh, geez, look at the bottom edge. Like, look at that. That's
salvage, though, right?
It's definitely salvageable.
Yes.
You can conserve that, right?
Yeah, we can trim it.
Exactly.
Horrible person. All right, I got a checklist. I got an AI.
Nice. Not nice.
Brent Berry. Tyrone Nesby. Kenny Thomas. Ricky.
No SPs so far.
Okay. Well,
whoa! That's a ruby, dude.
is it really?
Yeah.
Hold on.
No. Let me, please. Dude.
Well,
Dude.
you pulled a really mess up version of a Barry Davis Ruby.
Dude. Oh, man. I mean, yeah, it's beat, but that's
what's
a
the number
beauty.
to?
Number to 45, man. Dude.
Scottie Pippen.
Dude.
Hey, there's still more cards.
Not to me.
Sheed, Antoine Walker.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Nailed it.
I mean, I wish it was in good shape, but that's side PC, baby. I don't even care. I am pumped, man. That's the best hit we've had probably since that Jordan round ball royalty refractor.
Last pack.
Oh, man, we got one more pack. Oh, my goodness. Can we double down and get no sticking on this one? Okay, that's too much to ask for.
Jesus.
Dude. Marcus Camby for Zach. Pretty good on the surface, right? We salvaged that.
Oh, my goodness.
Alonzo Mourning. Come on. There we go. Hakeem the Dream. The net looks like damage on the top. Charles Oakley, Vontigo Cummings. Oh,
That's the
Isaiah
graded.
Ryder.
That's the graded
that's
one.
the graded one. Eldon Campbell, and last but probably least. Oh, not bad. Tim Duncan.
All right, most of that was on here.
All right, I am pumped. I'm beside myself with excitement. So we technically didn't beat the odds, actually, but on the other hand, we kind of did. So we didn't get any back for more. Those were 1 in 6 packs per the odds based on how many packs we had. Should have gotten about 2. But we did get 1 Majestic. These are 1 in 12 packs. We had 13 packs, so that's right in line with the odds. And then we did also get a Good Stuff 1 in 36 packs. So the KG also being a side PC, but it did have some paper loss in the middle and a little bit on the back. The Majestic definitely came out much better. It's very clean front, but there was some paper loss on the back of that as well. But the big thing, the big news today is the Ruby Rookie of Baron Davis. This did come out with paper loss. You saw that the back of it was stuck to another card. The front of it didn't seem like it had too much sticking, but it did still have some paper loss. I mean, there's definitely damage. If I was to get this graded, which I don't have any intentions to do so, I would be surprised, to say the least, very pleasantly surprised if it got like a 7. But in all honesty, the surface grade on this, if you're looking at subgrades on a BGS, maybe it's a 2 or a 3, 4, 5, somewhere around that range. Very definitely not good condition, but a phenomenal pull. These are numbered to 45. Baron Davis is one of, I've got a lot of side PC guys. I've probably got I've got Penny as my main guy. I've got Iverson, KG, and then I've got Michael Finley, Lamar Odom, and Baron Davis are my next three. So, out of the 6 players that I look for and hang on to the cards of, Baron Davis is in there, so I definitely consider him a side PC guy. So I am absolutely pumped. Would have been great to see the SP version of this, but this was way more than I was expecting. I don't have a Penny. Ruby, I would have loved to have gotten a Penny, but, so this one, I've seen some of the rookies that, this is probably about as valuable as some of the other rookies I've seen. You're probably looking at somewhere between $50 and $70 for one of these cards in good shape. This one being beat up, if you're trying to sell one online, I couldn't tell you what it might get. It's really, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What you're really looking for, if you're looking at ROI purely, or if you're just looking at what's going to be the most collectible stuff, when it comes to the rubies, it's the stars. There have been a couple of pennies that have sold in the last 2 years or so. I'd put a guesstimate on if one came up raw, probably about an $800 card roughly. It's an estimate, not really sure. It's hard to pinpoint an exact value. Kobe, probably about a $3,000 card. That's definitely going to be the most valuable one that you're going to be looking at in this. You've got Iverson, which is probably a $1,000 card. I think the last Kevin Garnett that I saw was a $1,200 auction price. So you're really looking at right around $1,000 for some of the top stars, and then there's even other guys I didn't mention. Vince Carter's still very collectible. Shaq, you got Tim Duncan. Jason Williams is another guy who's very collectible that's in this set, and it's a great picture. So those stars really carry a premium, and then some of the commons come in a little bit lower, and then the rookies are a little bit above the commons, so kind of sitting in that middle ground. But just wow, I can't even, I don't have words to express how excited I am for this Baron Davis. This one's going to be locked in my PC for a long time, and I know we had a little bit of a sophomore slump in season 2. This is our second pack opening of season 3, and I think it's safe to say we've snapped that slump. And hopefully this is a sign of more good things to come in these pack openings. I know it's always fun to open packs regardless of what you get, but it's even more sweet when you get something nice in the packs, and when it's something that is of a player that you collect. So, that's what we got. I've had a lot of fun opening Skybox in the past. Actually, one of the quick stories I'll tell you is my father bought my brothers and I a retail box of the same year of Skybox, and we didn't really know exactly what we could have gotten. So the only stuff that we pulled one Majestic. It was of Keith Van Horn. We were not very excited about that, but we didn't even know who was on the checklist, because at that point in time, Beckett was really the king of price guides and stuff, but that's also where people looked for who was in sets, and this set wasn't even in the Beckett at that point in time, so we were kind of flying blind, and we were completely unaware of the SPs. So when we pulled the rookies, we got one of almost every single base rookie. We were hoping we could complete the set, because we thought that was a really cool thing to do, but we missed the entire base set by one rookie, because we got the SP version of Scott Padgett. And we didn't know why that one was looking a little different until we kind of read a little bit more of the information that came with the box. So that's how we learned about those SP action shots. And, it was cool to get one, but I was always saying I would have loved to have gotten a player like Lamar Odom, who later on, now I have Lamar Odom for my PC. So, got that SP, and, I wasn't even thinking of getting a Ruby at that point in time. And now, look at us now. We've got one that we pulled, makes it all that much sweeter. So that's one of my fun pack opening stories from the past, when this was a new product not sticking. But you saw the sticking, definitely did wreak havoc on these, and that's just the way it goes. The gloss finish, as I said, you saw with like the foil finish on the Majestic, it did not stick to the other cards. It's really when you get the gloss finish on cards, so if you're looking at a foil set, like let's say Fleer Metal, those typically do not stick much, if at all. We've done some pack openings with 96, 97 Fleer Metal, and the sticking was basically non-existent because of the foil. But then we've also done other pack openings like these, like 95, 96 Tops, a lot of other stuff where we saw a bunch of sticking. So obviously the Chrome products always stick. But that was kind of the story of the day, is a lot of sticking, and the Ruby. So I'm still pumped about this. Question of the day for you is, Have you ever gotten a great pull, but it had some damage when you pulled it out of the pack? You know, so this one definitely came damaged when we pulled it, but it was absolutely a great pull, a phenomenal one to share with you. So drop that down in the comments if you've had any, you know, experience. Maybe it was a disappointment. Maybe you're still excited like I am with this one. I'm not worried about the condition of this. I just like having the card. But drop that down in the comments if you've ever had that happen to you, where you pull something nice, but it happens to have some damage. So that's the question of the day. As always, thanks for joining me in opening these packs and our great passion for this great hobby. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss any videos in the future. Pack openings and regular content like this will drop on Wednesdays. Any bonus content will drop on Fridays. Also, if you're feeling up to it, take a look at the link in the description to check out the merch shop. We've got lots of stuff. I'm not sporting any today. But there are tons of shirts, hats, but other things, cups, mugs, pillows, tons of fun stuff in the merch shop. So check it out if you're looking to get some merch and help support this channel if you enjoy it. And we'll talk later. Thanks.